still you need to be on it.
It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win!
Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time, a night to remember.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
Electric.
I bet they bought the car with crypto.
Probably got a podcast about kale. The Triogers!
Jeffrey reckons they wear sandals. They're coming now, they're coming now.
There he is.
Never seem nice.
You seem all right.
Skoda.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy. The following programme is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Came back to fight for the British and Commonwealth. You must love those belts so much. That's what's on the line tomorrow night.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. Like you say, I got the opportunity. The European become vacant, so it arose, and obviously I wanted to fight for that. And then, luckily, the British and British Commonwealth come available as well for the next fight. So it's good to, even though it's kind of like, it wasn't a step back, but it was kind of, I surpassed it. But it's good to come back and win them titles. You know what I mean? Because the traditional route's always been British, European, then world. So now I've won them, I can go on the world now.
Well, it shows the significance of the British title, though. The fact that you were happy to sort of come back and get it just to add it to your collection. And that's what's at stake tomorrow night for Mark Chamberlain and Jack Rafferty, Ruth.
These titles are so prestigious. I can't state that enough. They really are. And like you said, they are a great stepping stone to world level. I mean, Jack Rafferty himself, he's ranked, I believe it's number 11 with the WBO. I think he's number 14 with the WBC and number 15 with the IBF. So It's those titles that have helped him get there, and a win for either men at this point will boost them even further.
Yeah, you go.
No, I was just going to say, Mark Chamberlain's a man that you know very well, right? You guys kind of came up together. You've seen the highs and you've seen the lows, and he's had a low recently with that loss to Josh Padley, but he needs to get back in the swing, right?
Yeah, like you said, I know Mark very, very well. We had the same trainers for years when he turned pro, so we was training together, sparring together, so I know him really, really well. And like you say, he was doing very, very good things at lightweight. I think he was the number 1 contender for the WBC. He was knocking everyone out in Riyadh, do you know what I mean? And then he come against a loss against Josh Padley, and now he's stepping up against the champion, and he's in for a tough night's work, do you know what I mean? Moving up in weight, it's his first title fight at super lightweight. So it's just see what he's always been a big kid, but I've always said when I was in the gym with him, he's big for lightweight. I used to spar him on super featherweight, and he's always been big, so who knows, moving up to super lightweight could be beneficial for him, do you know what I mean? Make him feel stronger, not trying to cut as much weight no more. So we'll see on tomorrow night, see how it pans out.
Well, that's the thing. When people step up in weight, often people ask, are they going to lose their power when they step up in weight? But also, there's the other side. This weight might suit Mark so much more. It might be that extra little bit to push him on to that next level. So we're gonna get the answers to a lot of questions on Saturday.
Yeah, 100%. And listen, one of the things Mark Chamberlain often has going for him is that he's a big, heavy-handed southpaw, and southpaw usually is an advantage. Not when it comes to Jack Rafferty. Jack Rafferty has a habit of just going through southpaws. That's what he does, and 6 knockouts in a row. He's the demolition man for a reason.
That's it. I mean, if you go back and watch his early fights, he has been demolition man from day one. I've not seen many fighters like him, and I know some people might think this is silly, but he's like a British Golovkin. He goes through people, he really does. He's so entertaining to watch, and I think you're going to struggle to make many domestic fights as explosive as this one.
And listen, Manchester needs a hero. You are becoming a real hero in Southampton.
Yeah.
Can you even walk around in Southampton, by the way?
It's getting a little bit harder, do you know what I mean? Getting stopped for photos there now. But it's all perks of the job, do you know what I mean? There's nothing better, like random people you don't know coming up. It just goes to show that you're doing things right, and you're getting that level, do you know what I mean? And I love it really. That's all I can say.
I feel like that could be coming for Jack Rafferty should he get the big win here. He's got so much momentum at the moment, as I say, 26 fights, no defeats, and Manchester is crying out for someone to come and take over. Anthony Crolla did it, Ricky Hatton did it. There hasn't really been a next one.
No, it could definitely be him. I mean, I remember when Ricky Hatton was fighting. When he was at his peak of his career, he was one of the most beloved men in the country. He really was. Jack Rafferty is a very likeable guy, and most importantly, the man can fight. So you're right. There's a lot riding on this fight, and unfortunately for the loser, it does kind of mean they've got to go back to the drawing board. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Will that be the main event tomorrow evening? Let's have a quick word on the Commonwealth Featherweight Championship.
I've got the Super Featherweight.
You've got the Super Featherweight, and I'm sure you won't be looking to give that up anytime soon. But the featherweight title on the line, Zach Miller defends against Leon Woodstock. Now, Leon Woodstock got a lot of headlines this week because of his attire, because at the press conference he had handcuffs, he had a jumpsuit, and he had a balaclava. Have you ever faced a man with all of that?
No, I haven't, not of yet, do you know what I mean? But who knows what's around the corner. But like you're saying, it's a very, very good fight. I've done some sparring with Zach before my last fight, before the Belotti fight, the finish camp. He's an all-round good fighter, do you know what I mean? Does everything well, if you know what I mean. He's fit, he's game and everything like that. So and he can box, mate. So it's a good fight. And obviously Leon, a few years ago when I was coming through, he was fighting for titles against like the Archie Sharps, the Zelfa Barretts, all them kind of people. So he was kind of a name back then, and he's kind of like dropped off for the last couple of years. So he's going to be wanting to make a statement, you know, because he wants to come back, he wants to get back in the title, he wants to be a champion again. But it's hard to say because Zach's been more active, I'd like to say, been in with some good guys as recent. So it'll be a tough task for Leon, if you know what I mean.
It is going to be a tough one for Leon. That activity, I think, is going to play a factor. But I think Leon's really got something under his skin. He really feels like. He mentioned yesterday, actually, in the press conference.
You can't see it. If he has got something under his skin, you can't see it.
You can't see it. But he did mention yesterday in the press conference, his coach once said to him, there's something missing. And that's why, in this training camp, in this build-up, he's approached it differently, and you can see it. So we might see a different Leon this time round. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he's been talking about how this animal that he's been kind of hiding away, and he lost himself a little bit, but he's rediscovered himself. It might just all be chat. He He might just go and lose the fight tomorrow and Zach Miller wins. We just don't know, but that's the intrigue of it, isn't it? I love the theatrics that he's brought to it. I think we could do with more of that in boxing, Ryan. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. There's always room for more characters in boxing, if you know what I mean. But Leon hasn't had that big opportunity of recently. He hasn't had no big fights to maybe get himself G'd up for it. And now he's got the opportunity to win another title and get back on that TV platform again. So, if I'm honest, I reckon he'd be hungrier than ever. Do you know what I mean? He wants to get back out there. He wants to be in big fights. So I can assure, I bet he's put the work in the gym because he wants to go there and make a show and make a name for himself again.
I'll tell you what, Zach Miller's come across as a bit of a fan favourite in the build-up to this. Like some of the exchanges that they had when they were sat at the round table, where Leon Woodstock saying, "I'm in prison, that's why I look like this." And Zach Miller saying,
Bury.
"No, you're in Bury, mate. You're in Bury." But he could become a real fan favourite, I think, Ruth.
100%. I mean, we were just talking about Jack Rafferty there, but Zach can do exactly the same thing. He talks. He's not afraid to say what's on his mind, and that's exactly what the fans want. You mentioned there, boxing can do with more characters. Zach is a character too in his own right, and he's very fun to speak to, and he's great to watch.
Yeah, they are a bit of a double act. Look out for them. Jack Turner. Now, this guy, 11 fights, no defeats, 10 knockouts. Sometimes he doesn't even make it out at the first round. Have you been impressed with what you've seen with Jack Turner?
Yeah, mate. Like I said to someone earlier, normally at that lower weight, is he flyweight?
Super flyweight.
Yeah. Normally at the lower weights, you don't really get that many knockouts, if you know what I mean. Normally they're really like going back and forth fights, really action, but not knockouts. So to have 10 knockouts out of 11 fights, he's got to have something in them hands, isn't he?
Yeah, he definitely has. There's something about him. I don't know how much you've been around him this week, Ruth, but there's a little bit of aura.
Well, listen, this is what happens when you get a fighter that knows he can punch, that knows he can pull it out of the bag whenever he needs to, even if he's down on points. And Jack's got it. He's got that kind of confidence, that inner confidence where he knows if he needs to, he can make it happen.
Yeah, he's in that Rotunda gym with Nelson Birchall, all of those guys up there as well. And he said something quite amusing yesterday. So he's fighting someone who is also 11-0. They have the same record. Yeah. I said to him at the press conference, so what separates you? And he was like, getting knocked out. That's what separates us. So he's a character, and it's good to see more fighters coming through from Liverpool. I'll tell you what, let's get these guys weighed in. Let's head over to Thomas Triber.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official weigh-in for Make or Break, a great night of championship boxing to be held tomorrow at the Altrincham Ice Dome in Altrincham, England. It is all being brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry, along with their great sponsors, Riot Season, That Prize Guy, Global Next Trade, 32 Red, and Unibet. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Well, a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this great event will be broadcasted live worldwide on DAZN, and a limited amount of tickets are still available, and they can be purchased through iceaccount.co.uk/boxing. Let's now get the weigh-in process started. Our first two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 8-round welterweight contest. We will first welcome to the scale from Mostar, Bosnia and Herzegovina. He brings a professional record of 8 wins, just 1 defeat. 3 of his 8 wins come by way of knockout. Here is Ivan Blažević.
Here comes the 25-year-old from Bosnia and Herzegovina, taking on Henry Turner tomorrow evening.
Ivan was looking
146.9 for Ivan Blažević. Now we will welcome to the scale from High Wycombe, England. His professional record, 14 wins, just 1 defeat, 6 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former WBC International Super Lightweight Champion. Here is the showman, Henry Turner.
Well, the showman is back. I'll tell you, he looks in some shape.
He really does. He's put on a lot of weight since the last time I saw him.
Sorry, Karen.
His only loss comes to Jack Rafferty, but I think this one is really one to watch.
Yeah, I was speaking to him earlier on in the gym. I was speaking to him earlier on in the gym. I believe his first weight, he's just moved up to welterweight. And like you say, his last time out, he lost to Jack Rafferty. That was a super lightweight. So who knows, the extra weight behind him might make him feel stronger and everything. So hopefully a good demolition performance.
Well, I was speaking to his S&C coach, Jordan Vine, who also works with Moses Itama, Sam Noakes, all of those guys down in Kent. And he says he's a different fighter now. He's bigger, stronger, faster, fitter. It's like that. Maybe he hung around at 140 pounds just that little bit too long.
You could see in the Rafferty fight that he's got skill. There is no doubt about that. That guy is slick. A lot of people are very impressed with him. So if he can put it all together, the strength, the conditioning, then we could have something pretty special here.
Absolutely, that very talented amateur as well as a European champion as a youth. And at 147, completely new prospect.
Yeah, like you say, as an amateur, he's very, very good. I think I'm a couple of years older than him coming through the amateur. He boxed for Repton Boxing Club. And I think when we was going through the championships, when we was kids, he was very good as an amateur. Like when he was younger, he was winning everything for Repton. He's always been a very, very well schooled fighter. And as you can see when he was in
once
the
again,
fight,
ladies and gentlemen, these two competing tomorrow in an 8-round welterweight contest. Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 8-round welterweight contest. We will first welcome to the scale from Telford, England. His professional record, 7 wins, 4 defeats with 1 draw. Here is Kirk Stevens, the Cinderella Man.
Well, the Cinderella Man, Kirk Stevens, former Midlands area champion, he'll be taking on Stephen Cairns tomorrow evening.
I guess this is a step up for Stephen Cairns, isn't it? Someone with a winning
136.2 for Kirk, the Cinderella Man, Stevens. Now we will welcome to the scale, coming to us from Cork, Ireland. He brings an undefeated record with 11 wins. 7 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Here is the Irish Takeover, Stephen Cairns.
Cairns, a very exciting fighter. This one's going to be explosive. I think, Stevens thinks he's got something to prove. Like you said, this is a bit of a step up for him. So I'm looking forward to seeing this one. This undercard really is a good one.
Yeah, he's a super talent, you were saying, Ryan, as well, and he's trained by Dave Colwell, who doesn't just take any mug into his gym.
No, and I've seen a lot on social media. I haven't watched much of Cairns, but I see in the gym he's sparring some good fighters.
137 for the Irish Takeover, Stephen Cairns.
Tell you what, he's very hot on his social media as well. He's always vlogging, always doing day in the life of Stephen Cairns. He gets that side of it. Probably more than you. You're not too much into your social, are you, Ryan?
I try my best, mate, but some people obviously better than me out there.
No, I'm not.
Nah, obviously it's hard. I try to do as much as I can on there, but yeah, like I say, it's hard.
It's hard as a fighter to try and keep up with all the things you've got to do, right? You're knackered, you've got in from training. The last thing you want to do is like film yourself, but some guys will.
Yeah, like I said, I've got 2 kids, so it's hard to keep up on social media, trying to juggle dad life and training life. But like I say, he's got more free time on his hand. But he's a good fighter. Like I say, the David Colwell gym, he's got a lot of good fighters, and he's a very renowned trainer. And for all the fighters he normally has, they're bound to be good, aren't they?
Let's have a look at this. Let's see them face off. Should be the step up in the career of Stephen Cairns here, taking on former Midlands area champion in Kirk Stevens.
Look at that, very intense. They've both got something to prove, that's for sure.
Once again, these two competing tomorrow in an 8-round welterweight contest.
Both in good shape, to be fair. Like I say, mate, I think he's going to be game. He looks like he's going to come to win. He's in good nick.
You can see it as well, can't you? The intensity.
He's not calling himself the Cinderella Man for nothing.
Our next two fighters to the scale competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round featherweight contest. First, we will welcome to the scale, coming to us from Managua, Nicaragua. Here is Darwin El Finito Martinez.
Well, this is a familiar face on the British scene. He's been in with so many UK fighters: Marcus Sutherland, Nathaniel Collins, Charlie Hickford. Let's have a look at him on the scales.
127.5 for Darwin Elfinito Martinez.
They don't come much tougher than Nick.
Now we welcome to the scale from Bradford, England. Undefeated with 1 victory, he proudly represented Australia at the 2024 Olympics, earning a bronze medal. Here is Charlie Senior.
Well, made in Bradford, raised in Perth, here is the Olympic bronze medalist Charlie Senior.
129 for Charlie Senior.
One of 2 Olympic bronze medalists we've got on this show. Of course, Lewis Richardson on as well. Super talented Charlie Senior.
Listen, when anyone comes onto the pro scene with an Olympic medal, whether it's silver, bronze or gold, you've got to pay attention because, listen, those medals don't come easy. So, yeah, he's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Bit of a dancer as well, bit of a mover. He did a little bit of break dancing after his last fight. All helps, doesn't it, Ryan?
Like you say, mate, it all helps raise the profile, do you know what I mean? When you start doing different stuff to what normal fighters do, it gets your name out there and keeps your eyes on you.
We'll have a look at this. Charlie Senior, fight number 2 for him. On Saturday evening, Olympic bronze medalist, trains out of the iBox gym, alongside Sam Noakes, all of those guys there, Henry Turner. He was sparring Shakur Stevenson earlier on this year as well. A real high-level talent.
Nice little name drop there.
Well, I wasn't sparring him, but definitely not. But Charlie Senior most certainly was. And he looks the part. He's got something about him. Australian boxing is flying right now, and Charlie Senior, one of those looking to fly the flag.
That's it. It really is flying right now. It seems like over the last, maybe 5 years or so, every time you see a show, there's an up-and-coming Aussie on the card, and it's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely that. Of course, just last week we had Sam Goodman giving a very good account of himself against Nick Ball, Jai Opetaia, world champion as well. But it's not often you get a half Brit, half Aussie. Let's see how far Charlie Senior can go.
That's it.
Our next fighter to the scale, competing tomorrow in a scheduled 8-round featherweight contest. His opponent will be weighing in later today. Let's welcome to the scale from Morecambe, England. Undefeated with 8 wins. 5 of those 8 wins come by way of knockout. Here is Nelson, the sexy one, Burchell.
Well, here is the sexy one, Nelson Burchell, 20 years old, from Morecambe.
132 for Nelson, the sexy one, Burchell.
It's not short of confidence, is he, Ryan?
No, mate, with a name like that, the sexy one, you've got to be confident in yourself. But I believe he's one of 3 brothers, isn't he? So to come from a fighting family, he's going to have a bit about him.
No, absolutely that. And hey, if Tyson Fury is retired, Morecambe boxing is in safe hands with the Burchell brothers.
I was going to say, Morecambe is not short of characters, apparently. Here we go. This one's going to be entertaining.
Our next 2 fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round middleweight contest. First to the scale, coming to us from Narva, Estonia. He has 30 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome Dimitri Dimaprokunas.
Well, this is another familiar face on UK shores. He actually boxed Lewis Richardson on his professional debut last time out at Portman Road.
162.3 for Dimitri Dimaprokunas. Now we welcome to the scale from Runcorn, England. Undefeated with 5 wins. 1 win comes by way of knockout. Here is Jack Power.
Here comes Jack. He's on a nice little winning streak here. 5-0, sorry. And it'll be interesting to see how far he can take his career.
162.4 for Jack Power.
Huge ticket seller is Jack Power. That always helps in your career. from Runcorn, trained by Terry Stewart. Fight number 6 for him coming up on Saturday. And Ryan, you're a massive ticket seller yourself. How does it happen? Do you have to really work at it? Do you have to go around and shake hands and smile and kiss babies and whatnot? How does it happen?
Well, mate, it don't happen overnight. I can say that for one. It takes years. Like when I first started out, it was slow. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, it helps having a city behind you. And like I say, I've luckily got the football club behind me, so that helps sell tickets. But yeah, it does take a lot of shaking hands, a lot of dropping tickets, going to people's houses. Like I say, everyone, when someone comes to watch you, they want to see your face, they want to put a name to their face, and you want to shake your hand. So.
Well, Jack Power certainly has that back.
Once again, these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round middleweight contest. Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round super featherweight contest. Let's first welcome to the scale from Leeds, West Yorkshire, England. He has 40 professional bouts to his credit. Let's welcome Joe Hardy.
Well, Joe Hardy, also a familiar face. He's been in with Walter Fury, George Davey, plenty of others, and he'll be the man taking on Steve Clark tomorrow evening.
If you stick around the British scene long enough, you'll see a lot of these guys.
163.6.
That is super featherweight.
And now we welcome to the scale from Liverpool, England. Undefeated with 6 wins, 1 win by knockout. Here is Stephen Clark.
Well, fight number 7 for Stephen Clark, 23 years old from Liverpool. Very much a product of the Smith brothers, trained by them, managed by them. Bit of a ticket seller as well, and quite a talent.
He really is. Very
middleweight contest, an error on the bout sheet.
Yeah, very likeable character and very fun to watch. And like you said,
161 for Stephen Clark.
Trained by Steve Smith, who is really building up a nice little stable there.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Charlie Edwards there as well. Thomas Triber just correcting himself on the weight. It was, I think it was initially super featherweight, which certainly perked yours up.
I looked at him there, I thought, I'm in trouble here. I looked at him, I go, no way, they're super featherweight. He looked big when I was walking up, but yeah, he said 160. I go, yeah, that ain't me.
Yeah. It's not a bit of you, but it is a bit of Steve Clark. Good night for him coming up. Tomorrow evening, we'll be back in action. Fight number 7 in his career. Hasn't lost a round so far. And let's see how he gets on.
Liverpool, a huge boxing city. There's a real buzz there for boxing.
Yeah, like
once again, the middleweights in action. 6-round schedule tomorrow.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out of Liverpool now, with obviously Nick Ball leading the way and all these other young fighters coming through.
Yeah, Jack Turner as well, who we'll see very, very shortly on the scouts. And it's going to be a terrific night, I think, this one.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a 6-round middleweight contest. First to the scale, coming to us from Belarus. Let's welcome Dmitry Atrohov.
Here's Dmitry Atrohov in action tomorrow evening. Shorts and flip-flops.
Sandals. Sandals.
It's like he's in Bournemouth.
Rainbow t-shirt, sandals. He's ready for holiday, I think.
161.6 for Dmitry Atrohov. Now to the scale from County Mayo, Ireland. Undefeated with 6 wins, 2 wins by knockout. Here is Owen Lavin.
It's actually a very late change of opponent for Owen Lavin tomorrow evening. He was scheduled to fight someone completely different, but Dmitry has come in at the last minute. Owen Lavin unflustered, though. I'm sure he'll be
162 for Owen Lavin.
Yeah, that's all part of the learning for these young fighters. He's 6-0. Here we go. His opponent has taken a nice video. He's 6-0, and adjusting to these last-minute changes is all part of that process.
Yeah, I feel like the opponent is also adjusting, as you just pointed out. I'm not sure if it was in vision or not. He was doing like a selfie video with Owen Lavin in the background. Lovely stuff, Ryan.
Like I said, It seems to be like he's on holiday earlier, but now he's mostly enjoying the experience. You know, we've been on a big show like this, Queensbury show. But yeah, I'm sure he's going to be up for it come Saturday night.
Absolutely. Well, Owen Lavin, big talent coming out of Ireland. He is managed by 258. He's promoted by Queensbury and he's trained by Anthony Croller. So it's quite a kind of triumvirate pushing this guy.
That's it. That's a who's team right there.
Once again, they will be competing tomorrow in the middleweight division. Our next two fighters to the scale competing tomorrow in a scheduled 12-round contest for the Commonwealth Featherweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger from Leicester, England. 16 wins, 4 defeats, 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is Leon the Lion Woodstock.
Well, what an atmosphere here as the boos are ringing around from the Zach Miller fans for Leon Woodstock.
They really are. Listen, this, I'm telling you now, this is what Leon wanted. Look at that. He is loving it. He's embracing it. This is going to be a firecracker tomorrow.
I love that the balaclava is on. Will that affect his weight? Will it have to be removed?
Well, maybe. I've been there before. I've got to strip my boxes off, but yeah, that might make it down. Look, it's made no difference.
125.1 for Leon the Lion Woodstock.
He is well up for it. I think he's loving
he loves it.
Fans.
Absolutely loves
and
it.
now let's welcome the defending champion from Manchester, England. His professional record, 16 wins, just 1 defeat, 3 wins come by way of knockout. Here is the reigning and defending Commonwealth Featherweight Champion, Zach Miller.
Zach Miller has taken the roof off in here.
Those Miller fans are here in force.
125.4 for the defending champion.
If this is what his fans like, if this is what the fans like just out of weighing, mate, I'm looking forward to what the noise is going to be like tomorrow night.
This is unbelievable.
That atmosphere is going to be special, I tell you. Can you get much better than the Mancunian fans? I'm not sure if you can.
I'm not sure you can either. Zach Miller defending his Commonwealth title against Leon Woodstock. This fight has been building up very nicely. And even now, Leon Woodstock, he's eyeballing Zach Miller. He can't take his eyes off him. Fantastic fight.
Yeah, like you said, I think Leon's well up for this. He wants to make a name for himself and get back in the mix. So it's a very interesting fight to say the least.
Well, the mask is off. The mask is off. And Leon Woodstock is from a part of Leicester called Beaumont Leys, and he's been referring to himself as Beaumont Leys' final boss. No handshake.
Scheduled 12-round contest for the Commonwealth Featherweight Championship.
I don't know if you could see there, but Leon did not want a handshake, so there was no handshake there. This one's going to be spicy.
No handshake whatsoever. Have you ever turned down a handshake at a weigh-in?
Nah, mate, that's not me. I'm always respectful, but there's always a bit of animosity between some fighters. Some fighters are different, but with me, I'm respectful, mate. I don't do no talking and that, so listen, there's a bit of animosity there.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round middleweight contest. First to the scale from Narva, Estonia. 5 wins, 16 defeats, 1 draw, 1 win by knockout. Here is Altrincham Spotter.
One of the best surnames in boxing for me. This is Sparta.
It's pretty good, although we did have a power earlier on, so you know there's some debate up about that.
160.4 for Altrincham Spotter. Now we welcome to the scale from Colchester, Essex, England. He had a stellar amateur career, proudly representing Great Britain at the 2024 Olympics, earning a bronze medal. Now, as a professional, undefeated with 1 victory. Here is Lewis Richardson.
Well, the professional career of Lewis Richardson continues tomorrow evening. Olympic bronze medalist.
160.9 for Lewis Richardson. massive.
He's so proud of that Olympic bronze medal, and rightly so.
That's it, rightly so. Like you said, he's a second bronze medalist on the show. Listen, like I said, when you turn pro and you've got that Olympic background behind you, it's going to give you a little bit of a bigger platform than most pros turning over, but make no mistakes about it, there's also going to be a little bit of pressure there.
Yeah, Lewis is a very, very good fighter. There's one thing going to the Olympics, but to actually win a medal at the Olympics as well just goes to show how good of a fighter he is.
And we mentioned pressure yesterday. I put that to him. Like, are you feeling extra pressure? And he said, no, pressure is
Once
a
again,
privilege.
these two competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round middleweight contest. Ladies and gentlemen, it will be a battle of the undefeated 10 rounds scheduled for the WBA International Super Flyweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger, coming to us from Bragado, Buenos Aires, Argentina. Undefeated with 11 wins, 6 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Nicolás El Demonio Muguruza.
Well, Nicholas Muguruza has arrived here to a few boos from the Jack Turner fans. He's promising a knockout himself tomorrow night.
He is, he's a confident man, and you know what? This is what I want to see. I want a confident man versus Jack Turner, because you've got to be confident to make a dent. I mean, can he make a dent? That's another thing, but to even have a chance, you've got to have that confidence behind you.
Well, no one's made a dent so far, but he does fancy it. Let's have a look at him on the scales.
$114.4 for the undefeated challenger, Nicolás El Demonio Muguruza.
He must fancy his chances, the Argentinian, because...
Now let's welcome the defending champion from Liverpool, England. Undefeated with 11 wins, 10 of his 11 wins come by way of knockout. Tomorrow, he will be the reigning and defending WBA International Super Flyweight Champion, Jack Turner.
Well, here is the fast-rising, heavy-handed Jack Turner from Liverpool. He's knocked out 10 of 11 so far. He intends on doing exactly the same tomorrow night.
114.7 for Jack Turner.
I'll tell you what, there's absolutely no reason. It's early days, but there's no reason why Jack couldn't be the next big thing in boxing.
Like I said earlier, for the smaller weights, you don't normally get people that heavy-handed with that kind of knockout rate. And I thought Ryan Farrell was going to cause him trouble. And look what he's done there. He blitzed him out of there. So he's obviously a very good fighter.
Exactly that. He's had his kind of step-up fight against Ryan Farrag. That was last time out. That was supposed to be the let's see what this kid's like in deep waters. Those deep waters, they didn't get there. He knocked him out in 2 rounds, completely blew him away. And it was a kind of a statement-making performance.
It was something special, to be honest, because, you know, everyone in the game really was saying this is going to be a test for him, but it weren't really a test at all.
There is a real intensity about Jack Turner. I like the way Nicholas Muguruza has the Argentina flag there, but Jack Turner is looking right through him.
It's like you said earlier, Debbie, he's got that aura around
Once
him.
again, it's a battle of the undefeated. 10 rounds scheduled for the WBA International Super Flyweight Championship.
The Argentinian must fancy himself here, because normally foreigners come over there and bring a team of couple, but he's brought a whole team of 8 people over. So
he's brought the team. He's brought his unbeaten record. He won a title in his last fight as well. For him, he's got every reason to be confident.
He's going to be very, very confident, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen, our highly anticipated main event tomorrow will be broadcasted live worldwide on DAZN, brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it will be for the British and Commonwealth Super Lightweight Championships. Let's first welcome the challenger from Portsmouth, Hampshire, England. His professional record, 17 wins, just 1 defeat, 12 wins come by way of knockout. He is the former IBF European and WBC Silver Lightweight Champion, Mark Chamberlain!
Well, let's have a look at Mark Chamberlain, one half of the main event tomorrow evening. Big fight for him.
139.5 for the challenger, Mark Chamberlain!
Mark Chamberlain makes the weight, of course, coming up from lightweight to super lightweight now.
And now let's welcome the undefeated defending champion from Oldham, England. His professional record, 26 wins, 17 wins by knockout. Here is the reigning and defending British and Commonwealth Super Lightweight Champion, Jack the Demolition Man Rafferty!
Well, I'll tell you what, an absolutely thunderous ovation here for the Demolition Man. I can barely hear myself think.
139.5 for the undefeated defending champion, Jack the Demolition Man Rafferty!
I'll tell you what, the noise in here, you would not believe it's a weigh-in. The noise tomorrow night is going to be unbelievable.
It's a fight I'm very, very looking forward to. Jack's undefeated. He's got loads of knockouts to his wins. And obviously Mark's a very heavy hand. He was at lightweight, so it's going to be intriguing to see if he can carry that power up to super lightweight.
Proper fight this one, and Jack Rafferty on that streak now, 6 knockouts in a row, and he is building that following, much like you are down in Southampton. He's doing it up here, up north. You can hear it. It's incredible.
It is. And he's really coming into his own. He said yesterday at the weigh-in, this is the Rafferty show, you're here to see me. And that's the kind of confidence that's going to take him to another level.
But what stands in front of him tomorrow night is by far what looks like the sternest test of his career. I'm not sure he's been winning with anyone who can punch like Mark Chamberlain.
No, like you said, at lightweight it was a very, very heavy-handed. So if Mark can carry the power up to super lightweight, then it's going to be an interesting fight. But I don't think Jack's a very good fighter, mate. He's very fit and strong himself, especially at super lightweight. He's been there before, he's done it. So it's going to be a very interesting fight. And Mark's going to have something to prove it moving up, do you know what I mean? Off his loss as well.
Talking to each other, then there is the handshake.
Main event tomorrow, 12-round schedule for the British and Commonwealth Super Lightweight Championships.
Absolutely incredible noise in here. That is the main event tomorrow night, and that was something very, very special indeed. I mean, Ryan, it almost sounded like a Ryan Garner weigh-in.
Mate, well, to be fair, the last couple of weigh-ins, mate, we didn't have not many people come in, mate. But like you say, come fight night, that's just for the weigh-in. I'm looking forward to what tomorrow night, how many fans are going to be in there. And I think it's going to be a different kind of noise tomorrow night.
Well, we've got Dave Coldwell lurking close by. I think he's going to come and join us. Dave, take that, please. How are you?
Hey, mate, how are you doing? Right? How are you? Right? Yeah,
very good, very good. Now, you've, of course, got Stephen Cairns on this show as well. How's he coming along? What I've seen a lot of social media, a lot of day in the life of, a lot of vlogging, building that side of it as well as the fighting.
Yeah, when Stephen turned pro, when it comes to me, he was 18 years old. So right from day one, I've said to him, you got to jump on that social media. You got to make sure that you promote your brand. You know, so the promoters don't have to start from scratch when you get there. Obviously, he had a few fights first before he got signed by Frank and George. But he'd already built a little bit of brand, a bit of traction, and a lot of a following. So he's done really, really well with that. The important stuff is what he does in the gym and what he does on fight night, and so far he's ticked all the boxes. He's one of the most dedicated and most understanding fighters I've worked with, and he's so coachable, so I love working with him.
Dave, I just wanted to ask you, you've brought up a lot of fighters from the ground up. How important is it for those fighters to get on these all British shows to get a little glimpse of where they're trying to get to?
Oh, it's massive. Yeah. It's massive. Just soaking up that atmosphere, and when you're hearing the crowd and everything all going berserk, and I always say to them, you put yourself as though, imagine that's you, and almost like feel the nerves, even though it's not you. And it's like, you know, when you're in a big arena, and just before the main event, if you can walk down the walkway, soak it up, make it feel like it's you. Put yourself there. You do actually get a bit of nerves, and then when it comes to your turn, then you can handle it. It's a lot easier to handle. So the experience of being on big shows like this is massive. Just being around plenty of cameras, photo shoots, you guys, people that you watch on TV. Sometimes young fighters, all of a sudden they're in that presence and like a bit, whoa, hang on a minute, and the more you can take that as just normal, then the easier it is to cope with when it happens for you.
Yeah.
What are you thinking on the main event? It's actually a fight in your man's division, in Stephen Cairns' division, which we'll talk about later. But how are you seeing that main event? The noise in here was crazy, right?
The funny thing is, I've had Stephen spar both these, and I've got another kid, Ellis Price, spar both. So I've kind of seen them, and when the fight got made, we was like, oh, wow. And both of them are like, they don't know. Obviously they've been in the ring with both. They've both got different assets. In Mark, the southpaw aspect is very, very. You can like, say for instance with Rafferty, he can perform a certain way against normal fighters, orthodox, walk them down, grind them down. But just getting the feet position right, the distance right when you're against a southpaw that's also quite tall and rangy. He's got a good straight left hand. If Rafferty squares himself up, does that leave him open? Does Chamberlain's power carry up the division? Does it make him a lot? Because some fighters, they get to a certain age and the power kind of like plateaus, they go up a weight division, it gives them a new lease of life. And then all of a sudden then they look like a beast again, where you kind of like written them off a little bit. So there are a lot of aspects in this fight where it can go either way. With Rafferty, he's so strong and he just walks you down, but he's there to be hit. So I genuinely don't know.
Ryan, just on that southpaw element, I guess you can speak to that. What is the kind of difference as a fighter? How does it feel when you're fighting an orthodox compared to a southpaw? How much more difficult is that?
To me personally, it doesn't really make a difference, you know what I mean? But for some fighters, obviously, some people struggle with southpaws, some people struggle with orthodox. So me personally, I'm alright with it, you know what I mean? But every fight is different.
One more thing, sorry, I wanted to ask you. Those titles up there, they've got that beautiful British title. They've also got that Commonwealth title up there. How important are those to these fighters?
Massive. You know what? You can. World title belts are ace and they're brilliant. But the look and the tradition and what goes before you, especially in great divisions like these are in. That British title means everything to fighters. That's the first thing you dream of. That it just looks beautiful aesthetically. It's a beautiful belt. But to hold the British title, for me, the board have made it more difficult for fighters to keep it. I think they should. I think it shouldn't be as difficult as what it is. Win it and now 3 defences. Back in my day, it was win it and 2 defences, which was hard enough as it is. But in this modern day and age, where it's hard to keep fighters at British level once they get in there, especially if they're good fighters. I would like them to be able to, go back to having 2 defences so they can keep it. So when they're retired, they've got that on the mantelpiece above. You know what I mean? It means everything to fighters, and there's something about a British title that drags the absolute best out of each fighter. You can have fighters that sometimes, like, form can go out the window, and then you put them in a British title fight, and you absolutely throw everything at it, and all of a sudden it's a career best performance. And some fighters, it can even be even when they go on and they may win other titles. Some fighters, you'll look back on their career and you think, do you know what? That was actually his peak performance. It depends. It brings a lot out of fighters, that for me.
Okay, Dave. I want actually one word from each of you. Okay. Now the question is very simple: Rafferty or Chamberlain?
Why am I going first?
You've got to go. Pressure, mate. You've got to go. Pressure.
I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
If you had to lean, because I can see you doing a little bit.
Okay, if I had to lean, I think Rafferty might.
Okay, Ryan. What about you? The one word. That was a very long one.
I'm going to say the same. Going off experience at the weight and momentum, obviously he's not coming off a loss. He's thriving at the moment. He's in his hometown, so I'm going to have to go with Rafferty as well.
Ruth?
I'm going Rafferty. I think from round 6 onwards, he'll really start making a difference. Now, you know what? I think it's that confidence.
Dev, Come on, mate.
Well, that's all we got time for. That's all we got time for. And that is make or break. That was nearly make or break for me. I've got to see these fellas tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. That was the weigh-in, and my goodness, this was just a sample of the noise that you are going to get tomorrow night live on DAZN. It's Rafferty versus Chamberlain. It's make or break. See you tomorrow.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
It starts with an engineer providing access to thousands of Shell EV chargers, helping supply more than 20% of the UK's gas, getting it from here to here. Investing in people and communities to build skills for the energy transition. Shell is helping power the UK, now and into the future.
Some footballers know the truth. That hard work is a weapon. Used to live their dream, and then someone else's. So in a world of footballers trying to be the solution, what do? Football's got enough heroes.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.